as we know, they want us to spiral down into bad health and depression, and we can't give them what they want, guys. So keep strong. So today I'm coming at you with a positive video. I wanted to look at some positives that are going on out there at the moment, because we're kind of drowning in negatives, and of course I'm far from someone that bypasses the negatives of the reality of the situation, and there are, you know, a lot of dark things going on. So I wanted to sort of bring the other side to it, because there are a lot of positives. So the first positive, Denmark. Denmark had mandatory poison dart legislation that was passed, and for 9 days the wonderful people over in Denmark have been protesting, making noises, banging pots and pans outside government buildings, so I hear, and basically they have overturned this legislation, for now anyway. And that is wonderful news, guys. That is wonderful news, because it just shows the power of the people when we all come together. Doesn't matter what race you're from, what religion. The people of Denmark realised that this was being forced upon them. They came together, they made a stand, and have managed to turn it back round. So hopefully that lasts. It is for now. I don't know how long, how long they've said that it will last for, but it's a win. It's a big win, and we all need to take heed, take notice of that, and use that as an example. Denmark can do it, we can all do it. So that's the first one. Secondly, I'm going over to Germany. Germany, millions of people on the streets, standing up, rising up, saying no, and going against the system and what they're trying to do. They've come under actual physical bombardment with water cannons and things like that. This is why I'm not completely au fait with protests. I do think that it's much more stronger if we could just all say no and stop acquiescing. But, you know, as we saw with Denmark, you certainly can get results. But speaking to my good friend Judith of Night Flight, who's based in Germany, she's also told me that a lot of order followers in the police, the military, are realising what's going on now, and they don't want to be a part of it. And the wonderful organised people of Germany, and we do love their organisation, it is one of their gifts, have put together packages for these order followers. They leave their job, there's financial packages, there's legal advice, and all of this stuff. So again, we're seeing people coming together, coming up with their own solutions outside of the mental schism, which is government and authority, which is just an illusion, and making changes. Still a way to go yet, but another positive. Okay, thirdly, I'm going over to Italy. Italian people, very passionate people, a lot of fire in their bellies. Very careful when you upset an Italian. But the people there are standing up in great numbers. They actually realised that protests weren't doing any good, and they've basically gone completely against the lockdown rules. I'm not saying that they have everywhere, but shop owners are opening. It's business as usual for many of the people over there, and they're disobeying, they're not acquiescing en masse, and that is fantastic to see. If we could do that the world over, this ends overnight. So again, the people coming together. Number 4, guys. Censorship. Now, it may come as a surprise to you for me to say that, but when you look at it in a different way, why are they censoring things? Why are they shutting people down? Why are they shadow banning people? It's because they're scared, right? It's because they're scared that if the truth comes out, they can't roll out their agenda. You know, if enough people become aware of what they're doing, aware of the truth, then it's game over. For me personally, I think the cat is pretty much out of the bag anyway. I think what they're trying to do is put their little finger in a broken dam, so to speak, because this expansion of truth and light coming into the world is only going to increase exponentially. So yeah, banning, and they're censoring more and more and more, changing terms and conditions. I'm again on another 30-day Facebook ban. This year, I think I've spent, 9 months in, I'm probably 4 or 5 of those months I've been banned. so it is actually a positive. Just on that note, guys, very, very important. I'm getting messages, and I'm hearing about people with smaller channels that are being censored and banned. I haven't got a massive channel, about 6,500 people, but it's so vitally important, if you want to keep up to date with my work, that you subscribe to my BitChute, my library, DTube. Even if you have to pause this video right now, because I know what can happen, because I've done it myself with other content creators. They say, yeah, subscribe to my BitChute, and you watch the end of the video, and then all of a sudden you forgot. So even if you have to pause this video now, go over to my BitChute or library, just subscribe, because I don't want to lose you guys. I want to stay in touch, and we've built a community here, and I want to keep that going. And they can pull this channel any day. I mean, this one creator, she said she woke up, her channel was just gone. And so that could quite likely happen, particularly around the things that I talk about. So please, please, please go to my BitChute, go to library and subscribe there. But censorship, in a way, is a good thing, because we are finding other platforms to express these truths that they can't shut down. And particularly with library, it's backed up, it's on the blockchain, so it can never be deleted. So where they used to do the book burning, this is a fantastic thing about humans, our creative essence. We can always use their weapons against them. With the internet, you know, they created that it was part of their surveillance and what have you. You know, we've used it to spread the truth. And we can do that with anything, whether it's going to be digital currency coming in or, you know, that's how wonderful we are. We can always find a way out. This is when I say we're genius, I'm not exaggerating there. It's just we've forgotten. Okay. So number 5, death. This is one of my favourites. Death of the mainstream media and how we are seeing that right now. And since I've been on my Facebook ban, I've been trolling the quote-unquote newspapers, both in the UK and in the US, just chiming in on threads, you know, trying to make people aware of certain things. And the comments are very comical, because most of the articles, the vast majority of comments from people are saying that it's fear-mongering, more lies, and I think the mainstream media is pretty much dead, you know, I really do. And nobody's really listening to them anymore, apart from the very, very extremely brainwashed. So good to see, good to see. And now the people are becoming the media. And we are the media, you are the media, just by sharing information like this, creating blogs, creating videos. You know, we just bombard the internet. They take us down in one platform, we go back up on another, okay? It's information war, this is what we do. And they're scared. Number 6, this is something that's occurring more and more, death of celebrity culture. I've never liked all of that anyway. They're all very shallow. Most of them sold their soul to get 5 minutes of fame and money. But we're seeing now, because a lot of people are losing faith with government, they don't really believe government anymore. So what they're doing is they're using these celebrities. Again, you look at the comments, particularly people like Piers Morgan in the UK, you know, just really just trying to ramp up the fear in people. People can see it, you know, they're saying, who's paying you, Piers? And I'm seeing this on a lot of celebrity pages pushing these agendas. You know, Madonna got absolutely bombarded when she came out with stuff, and Tom Hanks, obviously we know his dark history. And so, you know, we're seeing the death of the mainstream media, but we're also seeing a death of celebrity culture as well. And we need to, because, you know, we need to stop putting anyone on a pedestal. You know, I've spoken about this extensively in other videos, politicians, gurus, celebrities. You know, no one is better than yourself. You know, we're all equal. I mean, morally, I guess many of us are a lot better than some of these parasites. But again, it's all part of putting people on pedestals, so you give your power away. So that's refreshing to see as well. So death of celebrity culture. Number 7, nurses in the UK creating their own anti-jab movement. Okay, what more powerful message does that send out to people than people within the actual industry that are coming together and saying we're not happy because the nurses are going to be the first. And this is what I say, this is what I said to, I've said before, with these order followers in the police, the military, you know, they will come for you first, right? So all these people in those vocations that think they're safe and they're untouchable, through history is littered with times and accounts of where they've gone back on the soldiers or the police. You know, they've got this cult has very little respect for the people that actually carry out its orders, because the cult knows that if you're willing to do that to your own people, your level of consciousness is less than an animal. And they don't respect that. They don't respect humans, full stop. They think that we're animals. They call us useless eaters. And we know they want to get rid of us. But the actual order followers hate them even more. So if you're in a vocation like that, any governmental organisation where you're obeying immoral orders, you need to think to yourself that you may look on the surface like you're safe, but it's good to see the nurses doing something good, because at the start of all this, As we know, they were doing TikTok dances, they were really milking the public's adulation when they knew full well the hospitals were empty, and it was all very narcissistic and disgusting, and there's a lot of traitors in there that know that this thing is nowhere near as bad as what we're being told, and they're just not speaking out, they're staying quiet, and in many cases they're actually promoting the lie. I've spoke to many nurses and I've challenged them because they understand that if they admit that the hospitals aren't empty, then they suddenly lose their hero status and they're exposed. So it is good to see some of the nurses coming together and creating that movement, because if the nurses don't even trust it, I ain't going to stick it in me. So fantastic to see, again, another positive. Number 8, even the pro-jab movement is not in favour of the mandatory jab. Okay, again, what message does this send out to people? That people that actually believe in that promote that, they believe in the science, are actually saying, hang on a minute, there still should be freedom of choice in this. This thing has been rushed through very, very quickly. Within a year, most jabs take up to 8 years, to be officially used in some cases. So when the pro-jabs and the nurses are coming out saying we ain't happy about this, that sends out a very positive message for us. Number 9, more and more whistleblowers, seeing it more and more every day. Nurses coming out, doctors coming out, police, military, ex-CIA, they see what hour we're at here now. We're at a crossroads. They want to be the right side of history. So we're seeing more and more of this, and we're going to continue to see more of this as well. And again, I appeal to anyone within those vocations that can see tyranny going on within their institutions, or being told to action immoral laws. Speak out. You don't want that on your deathbed, trust me. You don't want that when you're on your deathbed and looking at your children and your grandchildren's future and say, I didn't say anything, or actually I was complicit. And there are safe avenues to speak out. If anyone ever feels like they want to speak out, you can contact me. My email address at my website, transcendingtimes.org. Just go to the contact button and we can have a chat. So, number 10, the final one. Guys, there are more people aware than ever before, and we can't lose sight of this. I know when we go outside in the street, we see all the sheeple, they're in their masks and blah, blah, blah. Yes, we're not over the finish line, not by a long shot. This is a long battle that we're involved in. It's gone over many eons. The mind control, the programming, the bombardment of chemicals and everything else that we're under. I'm not sitting here and saying that we've won, which is what you get if you follow savior programs and things like the Q movement and stuff like that. What I'm saying is that, even for me, I've been on this journey 10 years, and the people now that are questioning it, even 6 or 7 months ago, even just before this scam started, I would say they would probably die before they have any kind of awakening. And to me, that offers a lot of hope. And like I say, it's spreading like wildfire now. We just got to keep fanning those flames of truth. Keep speaking your truth. Don't be scared. We can't be scared to speak our truth. It doesn't matter what your mum, your gran, your boyfriend, your wife, what your neighbour thinks of you. We can't be worrying about that now. We have to speak our truth, each and every one of us. Share information like this, guys. Sharing is caring. It's a very easy thing to do. It takes a couple of seconds. You don't know who's watching. You never know who's watching. If you open one mind or get one person to think in a week, that's a feat unto itself, right? Not everyone is here to speak to millions or thousands or even hundreds of people, but we can all play our part. And when I heard about Denmark, particularly the other day, for the first time in a long time, it gave me a lot of hope. I had one, maybe a couple of days right at the start where I kind of lost a bit of hope, but I've always retained that. But that really gave me a lot of hope, because it just shows when the people come together, they don't stand a chance, and they want us to think that they're all powerful. Guys, humans are wonderful. We are wonderful. We've been told constantly that we're worthless, we're no good, we have no power. What we're going back to, what we're realizing, what we're remembering is it's the opposite that is true. We're wonderful, creative beings that have been royally messed with on a spiritual, mental, physical level. We're not showing up at our best because of all these things. But we can end this, and we will end this. We are going to bring this down, and we are going to prove, not even cosmically, but to ourselves, that we're not a species of rats or, of just worthless beings that we've been told. that we're wonderful, creative geniuses, as I said right at the very start. So guys, I'll just leave you with that. One other thing, I posted a video on my community tab with a message. Please watch that video. It's very important, and I would very strongly appeal to you to share that with your friends and family. And just one other thing, as I said before, please go to my BitChute library, subscribe, go to my website transcendingtimes.org and subscribe to the newsletter there as well, so I can keep in contact in case this all comes down. Much love to you all. Have a wonderful week. Keep hopeful, keep the faith in yourself, not outside of yourself, and remember who you are. Much love.